there's nothing wrong.
People lost friendships, people lost family, close family connections.
Very dangerous question. Very dangerous question. We say it's a personal choice, right? But homosexual, lesbians, and gays, if you are more familiar with psychology, it's not something that you are born with. It's more like after, or it's a learned behavior through their lifetime experiences. So there are so many people. They're saying they are born to be the way they are. They're supposed to be a woman, but they with the male genital born with. So that's why they are saying that it's not right. But a lot of psychologists are saying is that it's not something they are born with. It's more of personal choice. They want to be.
Yeah, there are people who believe that it's an illness. My understanding from the research that I've seen and the articles I've read is that it's a condition that exists in the uterus, in the womb of the mother when the baby is developing. But not that it's an illness. It doesn't prevent someone from living their life. It doesn't disable them. It's just a different sexual orientation, and that's all.
Personal opinion about homosexual people. Well, homosexuals are, in my opinion, exactly the same as anyone else. The only difference, of course, is their own preference in sexual orientation. So yes, there is a difference. But as far as quality of human being, not at all.
I don't have nothing against them at all. And I have many homosexual friends. I'm also in the entertainment business. There are many musicians who are bisexual, homosexual, lesbians, and gay. And I don't have any opinion toward them either. Just a regular human being to me.
First, I don't disclaim the homosexual people. They just have their own choices.
I think people do things that we don't always agree with. What people do in their own private business, in their own private lives, is none of my business.
In this particular case, homosexuals, I would respect them as human beings, but I don't think it's normal. I think that, as human beings, we are male and female, and the sexual act is, for me, between a male and a female, for the procreation of the human race. It's not an easy topic, and I think, it's a topic that a few years ago, maybe a few decades ago, should I say, was a hot topic. Hot in the sense that it was too hot, so people didn't want to touch it. And generally speaking, over the years, people have become more liberal, and world leaders, presidents, they're speaking out on behalf of homosexuals, and they feel that that they should be accepted as they are.
we are one of the first countries to legalize gay marriage. So yeah, I think it's one of those things where people have emotions, we feel love, and if we feel love for a boy or a girl, we should have that freedom. Yeah.
In my country, the situation gets better now, so for the older generation, it might be difficult for them to accept that, but for the younger generation, they are more open towards the homosexual people.
That is an interesting question, and something that I'm not sure that I can answer fairly. Because in my country, we had a revolution in the late 1970s, and with the revolution, a lot of ideas changed. The country is very, very machista. Machista is like chauvinist, male dominance. And so consequently, homosexuals have been traditionally, historically, being seen as abnormal, almost subhuman. Like, I would not venture to say evil, but just wrong. However, with the revolution, things changed, and nowadays we do have constitutionally respect for any type of sexual preference differences that exist, and we do have people in government that are quite powerful, that are openly homosexual, be them males or females, and so they don't hide it as it happens in other countries, but they say, okay, fine, I am gay or I am lesbian, and nobody thinks less of them because of that. They actually are judged from their work. You know, are they effective in their job or not? So, does that mean that the country is actually tolerant? I don't know. I think that they might be tolerant with some people, especially people that have acquired certain level, but intolerant with most of the people. Again, that is not an easy question to answer. Legally speaking, in some countries, gay marriages do exist. And I do believe in the legitimacy of union, be it marriage, be it whatever you want to call it, okay? Between people of the same sex, that is perfectly fine with me. However, marriage, no, I don't believe in gay marriage. I believe in cohabitation, and I believe even in forming a family. But marriage means something else in my definition. And I believe that, for instance, the efforts that have been made towards achieving legitimacy for marriage in many countries, particularly in the Western countries, in the developed world, it is really for other purposes. It's not that they're fake. The marriages may not necessarily be fake, but it is to achieve other ends, not simply to have the right to live together or to have my, I don't know, health insurance cover, you know, like this person. It goes beyond that, and it's to make a political statement rather than the will or the desire to live with this person, because they can do that without being married. It's called common law marriage, and that exists in virtually every country anyhow. So why is it necessary to change the law to recognize it more fully? That's.
I think there's no reason to stop people from doing the things they want to do as long as that doesn't harm other people. I don't think it delegitimizes my marriage. Just think it's not fair to have something for some people and not for others based on what they do privately.
They should free to love each other. But for tax part, for a tax, they have to be taxed, right? So to save tax, if I'm a single man and if I have a partner who is also rich, who makes a good salary, and said, if we're single guys, and the government takes a lot of tax, and let's pretend we're gay marriage, and how can you control that? That might be the one problem.
I believe the duration of the marriage is really rely on mutual trust and loyalty.
Correct, though. No. I'd want to help them, and I imagine it would be very hard. Right? Put yourself in the shoes of someone who's been ridiculed or mocked, or doesn't see any role models, or doesn't see any characters in TV or movies that are like them, must feel so isolated. So it would be trying to find ways to help them, find ways to fit in, I guess. Like, to be themselves, but also cope with a world that's not as understanding.
I will accept that. The most important thing is, no matter who he or she is, I will continuously love him or her, obviously, and encourage him to be himself.
To be what I am, no, I don't expect them to be.
If it's my son, I have to see or know or try to find where it's coming from, why it's happening. Of course, there's no definite answer for why, but I will try to see, to find the way that I can help them better. Because everybody has a religion. I have my own religion, and my religion says it's not acceptable. But if it's their choice, and then they are very sure of what they are doing, then I have to respect their decision.
I would not shun them. I would still love them as a family member, as a friend. But in confidence, I would encourage them maybe to seek maybe some help in finding, a different pathway.
One of my best friends in university was gay. I've had many gay friends and lesbian friends. I have two cousins who are gay. Now that I think of it, I have two cousins who are lesbian, and I have absolutely no problem with them in any way. While it is true that I don't have children now, it is also true that yes, one day I would like to have children. I think that if my child at one point were to tell me, Dad, I am homosexual, I would say, well, depending on how society is at that point, I would try to see what kind of support he or she might need, if at all. And if they don't need support, then I would say, okay, well, fine. Exactly the same that I would tell a heterosexual child. Be careful with who you choose as your life partner. If it's a son or a daughter that is heterosexual and they're going to get married, I'm not going to just say, oh, choose anyone, but choose whoever is best for you. Well, I would do the same thing with a homosexual child.
They are people that, that should be respected.